Good morning, students. So in last lessons you have learned about what is communication and why communication skills are really essentials for communications or in the process of communication. And not only in your study life, but whenever you start working, whenever you go for job interviews, even there communications is really important. So you have already got in the last chapters different type of communications. Now here we will see what are the different methods of communications. So different methods of communications you will see here. One is verbal and the other is non-verbal. Means whenever you talk, that is verbal, and non-verbals are one which are actually shown by using body languages. So we will see these two types of communication in this chapter. So different methods of communication. One is verbal communications, second is non-verbal, and the third is visual communication. In verbal communications, you can say that these type of communications are in the form of spoken words only. But in the context of type of communication, verbal communication also includes written forms. Means if you are writing something and you are passing it to someone, that is also a verbal communication. In this process of conveying through such thoughts such that they well understood by receiver, it is considered as a successful form of communication. Why this is considered as a successful communication? Because it whatever information, whatever message you want to convey, the other person can easily understand it. So in verbal communication you can see these body languages are also used, like thumbs up, like confidence, relax, trustworthy. Means in trustworthy people you will see when they talk, both their hand, means their palms are faced towards you, so such type of person can be trustworthy. Then strength, these are the body languages which are used for communicating. Just by seeing body languages, sometimes you can tell about that person, how that person is, whether he is confident or not, whether he is nervous. Okay, so these are the body languages. In verbal communication, first comes oral communication. Speaking with someone either face to face or through phone, voice chat, video conferencing or any other medium, these are all under oral communication. So formal communications in where lectures, conferences, discussions, brainstorming sessions, these are all formal communication. And informal are chat, gossips and casual conversation when you are talking with your friends inside the classroom or maybe outside, or whenever you're talking with them over phone, these are all informal. But formals are those meetings or classroom when the teacher teaches you, those are all formal communication. Then advantage of verbal communication. There are certain advantages of verbal communication. First, it saves time understanding the message or informed share. So whatever information the person wants to convey, he can easily convey his message and it saves time. Next is quick in obtaining feedback. If the other person have not understood, then that person can easily say that I have not understood. So quick in obtaining feedbacks as it is face to face. Not only face to face, even over phone you can ask whether you have understood or not. If that person have not understood, he can give immediate feedback. Then provide complete understanding of message and scope of clarifying doubts. Means if there is any doubt, it can be easily cleared. And cost effective. When you talk to someone face to face, you don't have to pay money, or when you are calling someone, you just have to pay for your monthly rental. So in that way it is cost effective. Then disadvantage of verbal communication. Immediate reactions are not noticeable. Immediate reactions are noticeable and can be misunderstood or lead to argument. So if reactions are noticeable, means whatever reaction was expected, if that reaction is not received, then it can misunderstood or it can also lead to arguments. Then difficult for people to understand accents. If we go to foreign country, and you might have seen their accents are bit different, so in the same accent if someone speaks, then it becomes difficult to understand for few people. and not suitable for lengthy information. If the information is very lengthy, very big information, then face to face or direct verbal communication is not a suitable one. Written communication in written forms, for example letters, or it may be documents or reports, email, contracts, memos, SMS, post on social media platform, handbook, posters, brochures, etc. These are all written communication. So it can be either handwritten, hard copy, or soft copy. Hard copy means whenever you take out a printout, that is a hard copy, and soft copy, whatever you type, that is a soft copy. This type of communication is indispensable for formal business communication and issuing legal instructions. So for formal business, if a person is doing business, person can for that person written communication is very effective, and if someone is issuing some legal instruction or legal notice, then written communication is benefit. Now advantages: communication is recorded for future. Since it is written on a paper, or it is written in a soft copy, it can easily be stored for future purpose. Then provides enough time to respond. If you get an email, you get enough time to respond. If someone gets a notice, that person gets enough time to respond to that notice. Then easy to refer back the discussed point. So if you get an email regarding a particular topic, then replying to that email, it becomes easier to discuss that particular topic. You won't be discussing anything other point which is not mentioned in that email. Then messages can be edited and revised before it is shared with the audience. Before you are sharing means, if you are writing something for a speech, it can be rewritten, it can be revised before it is spoken in the public places, or even some legal notices are sent. Before sending it can be edited again. Disadvantage: delay in communication, and receiver may not have time to write back. If you get an email and if you do not get time to reply back, then it will become delay. And also sometimes we forget to reply back, then that is also a delay in communication. Time consuming, as it requires details to be mentioned. So you have to mention every detail properly, so that whatever you want to mention, it is clear. So it is time consuming. Delayed feedback, resulting further delay in discussion making. If you want to discuss a particular topic, suppose that person sends you a notice and you are replying back after 1 week or 1 month, then that decision making also will take time. And it is only for literate people, person who can read and write, for only they can use this written communications. Now non-verbal communication. So non-verbal communication contains everything like pitch of voice, how that person is speaking, postures, different type of postures using, then body language, eye contact, blinking, tone of voice, facial expression, smell, time, personal presentation. So these things matter in non-verbal communication. So in non-verbal communication, the message is conveyed without using words. So there might be friends looking into each other, and without using a word, they can crack a joke, or they can convey a message, right? So those type of communication is known as a non-verbal communication. This form of communication mainly aids the verbal communication, as it supplements it with gestures, body language, symbols, and expression. Even during exam, you will see, if your friend is sitting at a far away, you are asking question just by showing the question number or getting the answers in that way without using any word. That is also a non-verbal communication, which is not good. Then physical non-verbal communication. Physical non-verbal communication. For effective communication, it is important to align the body language, such as facial expression. So in this image, you can see the first image is that person is happy, second is sad, third is angry, fourth one is wondering or he is surprised, then fifth one it's normal, and the last one is happy. Just by facial expression we can say how the person is feeling. Facial expression are most common among non-verbal communication. For example, a smile or a frown conveys emotion that may be difficult to express through verbal communications. Then eye contacts are also there. Whenever you talk to someone, you should always look into the eyes and talk, looking here and there, and while talking, it shows that you are not confident. So whether in the class or whether you are talking to someone when you meet outside, then you should always look properly into the eyes and then talk. Don't look here and there and answer in the class or you talk to a person. Whenever you're standing, your standing position also should be straight. Don't lean forward or don't lean backward. Always have show a confident body language and always stand straight. Do's and don'ts in body languages. So always smile and nod during a conversation in a non-verbal cue to inform someone that you are interested and attentive. So whenever you are attentive, whenever you show interest, you will see automatically you are nodding. You smile and you nod. So do it purposely. Whenever you're talking to someone, smile and you should nod. Okay. Then it should be a firm handshake. It should not be too tight or it should not be too what do you say, means it should not be too tight. You should not grip a hand that tight that you are breaking it, and it should not be very loose also. So it should be firm, a standard one. And even handshake shows lots of body languages. You can find out in internet different type of body languages. There you will see different type of handshakes are there. Then stand or sit straight and do not droop your shoulder. As you can see in the picture, even while sitting your back should be straight and you should not lean forward. While standing also you should not lean backward or forward, you should stand straight. Now don't avoid eye contact, as avoiding eye contact makes you look unprepared or unprofessional in business meeting. See, in this computer this course, it is all about skill. Means you will learn about computers, but before that you have to develop some skill. These skills are really important in your life. Okay, so that's why these things are taught here in this book. And if you follow this thing, if you make a habit of following all these things, you will see you automatically you will improve confidence in yourself. Okay, so coming to the first point again, don't avoid eye contact. Always keep a eye contact, because if you don't make eye contact, you will look unprepared or unprofessional. Slouching in your seat shows that you are too comfortable and may not be interested in what you are doing. So if someone talks with you and you are slouching like this in a chair and listening to that person will think that you are not interested. Again, if your parents are means there while that person is talking and you're slouching, you might get scolding, or parents ask you to sit properly. So this is the reason. Unknowingly, these are all body languages which we don't like. Then when a person is moving their hands, often it indicates lack of confidence and professionalism. Some nervous movements such as cracking your knuckles or biting your nails may look anxious. Okay, rubbing your hand like this also does not looks good. And if you're standing or sitting with crossed arms in a defensive positions, in the third picture you can see that person is sitting crossed arm, so it means that you do not agree with that person. Whenever you talk to someone, if you see that person has crossed arm, then automatically you should know that that person is not agreeing with your topic, with your point. Maybe it may be more comfortable for some people crossing their arm or crossing their leg, but you should you should have a good observation. If you have a good observation, you will know that that person is either he is comfortably sitting or he is not agreeing with you while whatever you are saying to that person. Then again, rubbing your palms or placing one hand over the other indicates that you are trying to impose your thoughts. As you can see in this cartoon, this Donald Duck, he is rubbing his hand and looking like that he has some very dangerous plan or something like that. Okay, so don't do such type of thing while you are talking to someone. Then mirroring allows you to build a rapport with other. So when you talk with someone, when that person is moving his hand, you also move your hand. If he's means tilting his head, you also tilt your head. In that way, when you are copying him unknowingly, you are maybe knowingly or unknowingly, you are actually building a very good connection with that person. It also develop trust and allow you to engage in deeper conversation. You can increase your conversation. You can try, whenever you talk with someone, try to do mirroring of that person. It will build a very good rapport. And also it is said that many time you can easily make that person accept your topic. Means if you are saying something, initially that person did not agree with you, then when slowly you try to copy him, try to make a mirror image like him, then you will see that that person build a rapport with you. Means he becomes he develop a good connection with you, and you can see that he have changed his viewpoint, and now he will agree with you. So these body languages are very interesting. There is a book, Ellen Pease, I think, all about body languages. You can also get its PDF file online. It is very good. It's a very nice book where you can learn about body languages, different type of body languages. You will learn about them. Then just by seeing a person, you can easily say what that person is thinking, what that person might be feeling. So you can go through that book whenever you are free. You can read that book. And last, para languages. This is the art of reading between lines. Means when a person is saying something, his voice quality, pitch, stress, emotions, tone of speaking and communicate, approval, interest or lack of it, means those things you will see those while that person is speaking in between the words he is using, how he's using his voice quality, how he is using his speech. You can easily know his emotions, or whether he is interested or he have no interest in your topic. Okay, so I'll stop here today. Thank you. And if you have any question after this video, you can ask me in the group. Thank you.